How you been, man?
Good, good. Enjoying the heat. The dog days of summer are upon us. Man, it's
It's only
ridiculous out there.
105. It ain't that bad, man.
Yeah,
It's only
yeah,
105. You know,
yeah,
there's a difference of like they say, oh, it's a what's that thing about? Oh, but it's a dry heat. To me, man, whenever
yeah.
I walk outside, if it's above 80, I feel like my head's in a dryer, so I don't care, you know?
Oh yeah. I if I sweat and standing there in the shade, then it's too
Yeah.
hot.
I don't understand how anybody says they enjoy the summer. I'm just gonna. The only thing about summer that I love, Dane, is softball. Right. So,
Yeah.
and speaking of which, I got a treat for you, Dane. So tonight,
Oh,
we got two amazing athletes and role models. We
yeah,
have first and foremost, just off their World Series debut. Talk about
yeah,
like just that Cinderella story.
yeah,
Elicia Espinosa is stopping by from the Utes Day, and we got her. You know,
yeah, yeah,
this role model. We've been tracking her down for a long time. Love what she's doing. Just a great role model. Works with kids constantly, and just an ambassador for the sport.
yeah,
And as we already say, even before you guys see her, we know the sport's in good hands, Dane. You know,
yeah.
so
Definitely, definitely.
so I don't want to waste any time because she's busy, always constantly working with others and putting others above
Yeah.
her. So I'm going to get right down to it to make sure we honor her time and bring on the epic Elicia Espinosa. Elicia, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys? Super excited to be here.
Doing
Amazing.
excellent.
Yeah, we're grateful to have you, Elicia. I know you're constantly working on camps and working with the kids, and congratulations on your debut at the Women's College World
Yeah,
Series this year. Pretty cool, huh?
Yes. Oh my gosh, dreams come true. Just being able to step
Yeah.
on that field, being there when I was younger, watching and saying, this is where I'm going to end up one day. It's just pretty surreal for sure.
You called your shots. I love it. So Dane and I have
oh
some
yeah,
questions that
Yes.
will run. Yeah. So Dane and I have got some questions we're going to run past you. I think you'll get a kick out of these. We really try to focus on you as a person. So I'm going to go with the first one. Obviously, playing at the elite level like you have been just doing this great. I love watching you at shortstop, and I know you can play multi positions. We know that. But taking you back to when it began, when did you first start playing softball or sports in your life, if you will?
Oh, I was pretty young. I had an older brother, so we always were banging it out with who was going to be the better athlete. Um, Probably started around 4 to 6, probably 6 started playing actual sports, played softball, basketball. I really loved basketball a lot for sure when I was younger. Just didn't know a lot about the game. I definitely knew a lot more about softball because of my dad.
Yeah,
But yeah, about 6 is when I started.
6 years old. So you've been on the diamond for quite a while. They'd say,
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Um, Dane,
yes.
your daughter started at 8. Dane, is that right? Or
She started at 6. She did some t-ball, but then I think 6 years old they started playing. So
yeah, that's
who was the first coach on your first team there when you started playing?
Oh, no one I remember.
that's a throwback right there. That's a throwback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that
had
yeah,
to throw an
little,
extra one at you.
I
yeah, for
expect
sure.
I
That
expect you to,
was
Alicia. I expect you to say it was like it was Coach so and so, and I remember the coach. I'm just kidding. No, so no,
oh,
I'm just playing.
absolutely not. I do
Yeah,
remember playing rec ball, and both me and my dad looked at each other and we were like, we gotta go. Like we gotta
this ain't
go.
happening.
Whatever's
Yeah,
next. These
that's
girls
right.
can't
Oh
throw
yeah.
or catch.
Well, I'll let you know, Alicia, before Dane takes 2. Me and Dane are still in rec ball. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
So I'm totally kidding. Go ahead, Dane.
I wasn't in rec very long.
I'm kidding.
So when you started playing and you said you played basketball, what was it about softball that just kind of stuck with you and made you want to go down this path?
Hmm.
Um, Honestly, my dad taught me the sport. Like my dad is biggest fan, everything. He knew a lot about the game and just I fell in love with the sport from a young age. Like just something about it. Like there's so much different
Yeah.
parts of the game that not a lot of people really know or understand. And just the back story behind the game is really just absolutely what I fell in
Mm.
love with so much. I loved basketball a lot. I just wasn't as good as basketball because I didn't train it as much as I trained softball. But I really loved hitting the ball hard. That was like my favorite thing
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah, smack that ball real hard. A lot of our kids say that was the reason they started playing as well. So I think that I feel like I know the answer, and we need to meet Dad already. I've already loved Dad. So does
Oh
Dad
yeah.
coach? Does Dad coach, or what's the story with Dad?
My dad was a football coach. He coached my brother in
Okay,
football. He did
okay,
have to coach one of my softball teams one time. Our team kind of fell apart, and my dad kind of had to step in. And he was pretty nervous about it because my dad's pretty hardcore. He
yeah,
definitely treated me like a boy growing up and coached me like a boy. That has a lot to do with the person I am today. Once you get to know me, you'll be like, oh yeah, her dad's pretty hardcore. So
Football.
he coached me a little bit. He was a little soft. I was like, what the heck? But it was because there were other girls, but he was never soft on me. Ever.
I got you. Coach is always harder on their own kid, right, Dane? Is that fair to say?
Definitely.
Yeah, the same with us. So because we coach too and all that. So when you think about dad, so dad's off limits for this question because we obviously can tell the influence. So outside of Pops, which shout out to Pops for helping you become just nudging in the right direction as the athlete that you were. Who's been the biggest influence as you an athlete outside of Pops, would you say?
Honestly, it sounds like super stereotypical, but like I'm a huge Michael Jordan fan. Like The
Yeah.
Last Dance is like the most motivating thing to me in the world. When I was in college and I ever like felt like a lack of motivation, I'd throw that on and I'd be like, gotta go work out right now. But just everything Michael Jordan did, like being a good teammate, like not only being the most talented on the team, but being the hardest worker. I always took such pride in being a hard worker. Like having people around me that weren't hard workers you weren't around me. I didn't hang out with people like that. So just seeing how he was and the basketball player he was super motivating to me and what I looked up to.
Man, Dane, I think it's like we've always said, I thought I was getting Michael Jordan until I took my first shot and it was an air ball. I'm like, all right, I'm done. So that's a great influence. I can see that though. It is like the original, just in the best way to say this, to just losing your mind over the competition, which is it's a compliment. Like you're all in, like this is what you do. So I can see that because I've watched several of your games and you definitely have that streak, you know what I mean? Like you're not going to go down quietly. So it was fun watching you during the World Series. It's like,
definitely.
Yeah, you got that streak. So go ahead, Dane, for 4.
I was just saying, before I get to the number 4 there, did you feel, being the upperclassman, did you feel kind of the obligation, or did you just want to start to be a leader on the team to kind of help this team get to that World Series this year?
Oh, absolutely. I've been leader, I feel like, since I first came in, no matter if I was freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. I feel like I had to learn at my time at Utah more of the leadership and just doing rather than the speaking, because I've always been that loud, motivating person. And when my time at Utah didn't really allow me to be that very much. So I kind of had to learn to just, you're going to follow me or you're not going to follow me. But this year I definitely did take that role over of having that title of an upperclassman, being able to speak up and communicate with my coaches, communicate with my teammates, and kind of just like let them know if you're not here to go win a World Series, leave. Like don't come. We don't want you here. Like you either get on board or you get off. And
I love it.
I feel like our team this year definitely got on board, as you could see, and it was super awesome just seeing our team be able to like flip that switch from going from winning 3 games in the Pac-12 last year to going to the Women's College World Series. Like I feel like not a lot of people kind of understood that, and this year was just so awesome because that entire year everyone looked at us as like that same old Utah team, that team we were the past 3 years. But we all knew inside of us, like it was just, we knew, our coaches knew, some parents probably knew, but like other than that, it was like us against everybody else. And it was cool, like not being able to, just hearing the articles come out, Utah redheaded stepchild, oh, Utah swept Stanford, it's a fluke, this and that, keep getting no picks. And it was just fun for us because we were like, okay, watch this. Oh I got picked to finish last in the Pac-12, finish last in the Pac-12 tournament. Okay, let's see. So just kind of that, it was us against the world, and it was so awesome because we put that work in and we decided that as a team. And previous years it was hard for the team to even be able to mentally tell themselves like we can go to the World Series, like, and I feel like this year we were just able to bridge that gap and just go all out for it.
Dane, I lost words when I'm watching the fired up. Like I love that because you're so fired up, and that's what, like, we've had gosh, this is 120 for this season. And we've had people talk about just believing in yourself and who's going to tell you no. Like nobody told you no. And like, I love it. Like, I don't think it should have ever been underdog, because we watched you guys like in the scouting reports in the season. I'm like, these kids are stacked. Like y'all are ready. So like, I mean, I don't know. I'm glad that you guys used that chip on your shoulder in the best way possible to push you. We had a guy from the Cardinals talk about that too. It's like, someone told me I couldn't, say I won't, and then look at me now, right? So I think that's cool to see that positive chip on your shoulder. So go ahead, Dane. Yeah, it's awesome.
I was just saying, now we go into you're in the off season, and you know we're the graduate student there. What do you see coming up on the horizon for you? You know, going into the next 6 months, the next year for you. What does the future look like for you now?
Yeah, being all graduated and being done with school. Amen.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
Right. Have my college degree. Woo.
Let's go. Let's go.
No, but I want to coach. I just want to build up young women into confident, strong, like leaders. Like I feel like now so much women are being pushed down, and I just feel like building up young, confident women being able to go out in the world, be leaders. And I think college or softball is a perfect spot to build those women up. And I just want to coach. That's what I love to do. I love to see girls I've coached. I've been coaching a little club team since my freshman year.
That's cool.
Summer after college. And I've been seeing girls this summer, and they were like, they still call me Coach Eli. I even played against some of the girls this year, and she was like, Coach Eli. And it's just so cool just seeing them and just knowing that I had a little bit of impact on their life and a little bit of little motivation for them to know that if you keep working, you could do it. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but when I was in high school, I had 5 knee surgeries. So between my sophomore and senior year, I really didn't pick up a softball. I blew out both my ACLs. I had 3 meniscus surgeries, 1 unsuccessful, and then 2 trims. So between my sophomore and senior year, I didn't play ball. I couldn't play basketball. I couldn't play softball. And it was tough. It was really hard for me kind of seeing like all my teammates around me commit. And that was the time when social media was getting real big. So people were tweeting their offers, tweeting their commitments, and girls having senior days around me and all this. It was hard. It was really hard. And it was just like trusting the process is so unreal, and just working. Like I'm telling you, like I tell all my girls, I'm like, I literally did not pick up a softball for 3 years. I was physically unable to pick up a softball, but I said I was going to play at the Power 5 level, and I will play in the Women's College World Series. And I just did not take no for an answer, no matter what. I was going to work harder than everyone. I had to work harder than everyone. I didn't have a choice. I didn't have the option to go to practice and slack off. I was trying to catch up for 3 years. So going and playing my freshman year at Texas, and then in the Big 12, and then transferring to Utah, playing in Pac-12, playing against some of the best competition is just something I knew I was going to do when I was little. And I had a tough draw for sure in high school. And I had a lot of people ask me, dude, why are you still playing? Like, what, your body, like, are you going to even be able to walk one day? And I'm like, I don't care. As long as I get
it's
through
gonna happen.
my 4 years of eligibility in college, I don't care after that, because that's what I set my mind to, and that's what I was going to do. So I literally signed my national letter of intent 9 days before school started. So I went my full senior summer with being uncommitted, seeing the girls around me commit, seen the girls have senior days. And it was tough. It was really tough. And my coach, my parents were like, it's okay. Like, it's going to come around. It even got to a point where my coach is like, you might have to take fall off and enroll in school in spring and try to transfer in. And I was just like, I'm not doing, like, no, it's not happening. And so I started putting the work in, and my play definitely back to my work eventually. Because when I first got back after that 5th knee surgery, I hadn't played softball in 3 years, and it looked like it.
Man.
I couldn't catch a ball. I couldn't hit a ball. I couldn't throw a ball. But like I said, I just refused to take no for an answer. So I ended up where I ended up, and I just that's the message I want to give to my girls and my girls that I coach, and let them know, like, if this is what you love, or if this is not what you love, whatever you love to do, like, do not take no for an answer. Like, work hard at it, be passionate about it, and back yourself up, be confident in yourself that you could do it. Once you start to get scared of failure, that's when you're not going to get to your dream. So
Right.
just letting my girls know, like, go all out for it. If you fail, oh well. Like,
Yeah.
so.
Oh, well. Yeah. I think there's a couple things I wrote. We always write down notes. You'll see us kind of scribbling like these notes and things. And I think I like it that you kind of keep referring that no is not an option. Like, it's not an option. Like, no is not an option. And I could just tell like the death clutch you have on this is going to happen, right? It's so inspiring. I love, there's a couple things you said. Dan and I, when we started doing exactly this show, our goal was to showcase female athletics in the same light that men deserve, the equal. This should be, female athletics should have that same love and respect. And it should be like, whether it's mentioning Jordan's name or Elicia Espinosa and the respective sports, you should have that same twinkle in your eye, right? So I love it that you have that passion to grow the sport for females. That's what we do. So it's just so cool to see, as Dan and I always say, the next generation is in great hands with coaches like you, especially with your coaching. I am hoping though, are you gonna, I know you're recovering and all that, are we looking at any type of like Athletes Unlimited or, maybe a pro team? Because that's a hot thing right now too. And I think you got the talent. Is that in your in the cards for you too, or?
I don't think so. I think I'm kind of ready just to get into coaching and just start just spreading my knowledge. Like, I feel like I've had so many experiences and so many knowledges, and I've been coached by so many incredible coaches like DJ Gasso. Oh my gosh, he taught me so much, and I just want to keep spreading that. And I want these younger girls, like, I got to college and I would learn things and I'd be like, dang, why didn't no one teach me this sooner? And so I want to be that for the girls and really just build up this sport and build up these young women into powerful, strong leaders.
Dane, I'm speechless.
Don't take no crap.
No. Dane, you have anything, Dane, before wrapping? Because I'm just like, my jaw's
I'm trying to absorb it all in. There's only so much I can absorb.
I want to go play. Like, I want to go play right now. Like, legit, let's stop. No, but I will tell you, there's we have a second. We'll take a detour, and I'm learning, kind of absorbing, got a little bit more to go, but I want to take a moment and maybe of all the interviews you've done, we're hoping this section, you've never been through this before in an interview. We try to set apart maybe a little bit of a different standard. Our fans are awesome. They give us PG stuff, but they give us weird, weird questions. And Dane and I bet on these. Okay. So So Dane, I sent you my picks. You got yours, Dane? You ready?
Yeah.
So the winner gets lunch.
Like I say, I'm way behind, Elicia. So I need you to help me out here. I'm way behind on this.
So we're gonna bet on these, and then you gotta, as weird as it is, you gotta pick one. Okay, so you ready?
Okay.
So first one, you're at the Women's College World Series. There's a lot of questions that are based around this for you tonight. Okay, of these 5. Now, what they don't tell you is your first at bat, you don't get to use a bat. You have 2 choices that you get to take your first at bat with. Either one is an old school pool noodle, hear me out, or B is an old-fashioned just umbrella. You have to take your first at bat with a pool noodle or an umbrella. Which one are you going with?
I do a lot. I've done drills with pool noodles, so I feel kind of confident in that. But just logically, I feel like the umbrella have a little more barrel control there. So I think it's got to be the umbrella.
Dan, I got that one wrong. Dan.
Plus you can open it up and push down the butt with it.
Maximize your strike zone.
Yeah.
Dan,
that's
did you have
the
that
thing
one?
I thought. Yep, that's the thing I thought of with that. You can push your button down with that.
You're starting ahead of me tonight, Dane. Dang it. Okay, so darn it. Okay, so I'm 0 for 1. So next one. So again, back to the on the field questions. So now that you've got that out of the way, and your next at bat, every at bat you take for the entire tournament, you have to do 1 of 2 things when you walk up to the plate. When you walk up to the plate, either have to A, moonwalk backwards onto the plate, or B, do the worm from the dugout to the plate. Are we going with the worm or the moonwalk all the way to the plate?
It's got to be the moonwalk, solely based off getting up and off the ground. Is
1 and 1. 1 and 1. Here I go. I knew it. I can just see you two like sliding in backwards, and just with the hat, like with the bat. Let's go.
I might put my own little flair on it.
Let's go.
Let's go. I got a lot more freedom.
Let's go. So next one. Again, these are great. I don't know how they just randomly comes out, where there a lot of them are really just about the field. So next one, your at bat situation occurs, and every time you get a hit, you don't get to run the bases. In this situation, you have 2 things that you get to do. you're required to either be shot out of a cannon to try to get to the first base, or B, riding a four-wheeler and try to slide a four-wheeler on the bases. Which one are you going with? Cannon or four-wheeler?
I got more control on a four-wheeler. It's got to be the four-wheeler.
2 for 3. Let's go. Okay. So, Dan, would you get on that one, man?
Oh, I'm perfect so far.
You're 3 for 3? Oh, man, I got to catch up. Okay. So next one, you're taking a group of, we're going to say 12 of you, because I know you coach a lot of different ages and whatnot. So you have to, for a team builder, you got to take a group of 12 you kids. And for a team builder, you have one or two things that you have to do with these kids. One is you have to do a jazzercise class. Okay. Jazzercise. Or B, you have to have every one of your kids go into a boxing match with a kangaroo to learn self-confidence. Jazzercise or box a kangaroo. Go.
It's got to be boxing kangaroos. Like, I'm going to bet on it myself.
I didn't have that one, man. I am striking out, Dan.
Oh, yeah.
What about you, Dan?
I was worried about that. I got that one right. I just kind of took a shot in the dark on it. So
okay. So man, I'm about to owe Dan lunch. Last one. So this is actually the one that's not technically about the game. So you're on a road trip. You guys are going to play a tournament. Let's say you're going somewhere, like you're going to do a play-in tournament in Colorado. It's a long drive. We know you got to do a little thing. So you have two different things you get to listen to, and it's on repeat. You can only play this. And you guys on the way. Option one, you have to listen to an audio book from the Farmer's Almanac, just breaking down just that stuff. It's like, oh my gosh. Or B, on repeat, you have to listen to the first Little League game you ever played as if it was commentated, all the mistakes, all the blunders and all that. Are you going to listen to the Farmer's Almanac audiobook or your first Little League game on repeat that was called?
Easy Little League game.
Oh,
it's gotta
be. Good. like your first home run as you're calling it at 6. I like it. So I went 3 for 5, Dan. How'd you do, Dan?
Well, I'm perfect today.
Whatever. Let me see your sheet. Okay, good. Dan, good. Okay, I owe you lunch, Dan. You owe me 6, so you got me for 1. So, okay, good.
I was gonna say I'm that takes 1 back. I owed you 7 there.
I love it. There we go. There we go. Well, thank you, Elicia. Hopefully in interviews you've done, you haven't done something like that. We're trying to maybe set the bar a little bit different. So thanks for being a good sport. Dan, I'll give it back to you for that last part, man. So
sure, Elicia. On this last section, we call it an open mic. We open up the floor to our guests to kind of, go out and tell us maybe a philosophy or a mantra they've carried through, their playing days from the time they first heard it in the little leagues all the way up to where they are now. We've heard a lot of the fire that you have for this coaching, and we have no doubt that you're going to do a great job at it. But did you carry something with you in the back of your mind to kind of help keep you motivated, or kind of a mantra that you kept after your surgeries and things, and say, okay, I can keep doing this? Is there something, or one or two things? Are there one or two things that you've carried through the years with you that you could tell the younger listeners?
Yeah, I definitely kind of touched on this earlier, but just take a no for an answer. Not letting coaches, parents, or anyone tell you what you can't do. Because like I said, if you put your mind to it, like, it sounds so like cliche, but it's so true. If you put your mind to it and your whole being into something and you're passionate about it and you love it and you work at it, it'll come true. And just another one is the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So a big thing for me growing up was discipline, and my dad definitely instilled discipline in me since I was young, and just like prioritizing, but just being disciplined on what time I'm going to sleep, what I'm eating, when I'm working out, and just like not letting my mind trickle into, this is an option. Like, I can work out or I can't work out. Like I go work out. Like, it's not, I don't even let my mind trickle into, this is optional. So kind of just like being able to have that mind control and that discipline of, I need to get my homework done before I could go out to eat with my friends, or before I can go hang out with my friends. I need to go hit before I can go hang out with my friends. And just having that disciplined mindset is so huge. Like I said, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So
that's good.
I can't screw off all during the week and then expect to perform on the weekend. Like, everything you do and every decision you make, no matter how simple the decision sounds, it's gonna affect your future and where you go and where you end up and what you're doing and where you're at. So just kind of knowing that every single decision you make, no matter if it is, oh, I'm going to go bowling tonight before I finish this homework, it's going to affect you in the future because you're going to be stressed about it and it's going to come back. So just kind of having that discipline and kind of just not letting yourself trickle into that mindset of it's an option to not do this. Like, no, it's workouts at 6 a.m. You get there at 5:45. So just kind of just having a disciplined mindset. And I think that goes with everything you do in life. Being disciplined is huge, and having someone in the workforce that is disciplined. Like, I've worked with non-athletes before and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know? So, and I've had teammates that are not disciplined, and it just kind of, I'm just like, oh, like, you know, you stress me out not having your homework and asking me to go hang out. So, yeah,
I love
just
it.
being disciplined is a huge, huge one for me.
Wow. Yeah. So life coach, athlete, tutor. I mean, you probably do taxes. Like, you do it all, right? Let's go. So, well,
I give it all to my dad.
I guess
a 5-tool adult, as they call him.
Yeah, that's crazy. There's nothing that you don't do. Alicia, I will say, Dane and I make this always clear. Thank you for doing this open invitation. Please make it a point to come back. We will make that happen, because this has been a blast. The motivation, the spark, it's contagious. The drive is something, being driven. I think that's what I would say probably sums you up, is driven. Like, you're very driven, you know. And you can't teach zeal. Like, you just either have it or you don't. No one, you could have the best athlete in the world, but they're not driven, and you have that. You have both, great athlete and driven. That's deadly. You know, so I love it. So, Dane, wow, anything to add to that, man, before we try to get some time?
I can't wait to see your team, the results from your team that you coach. I mean, they're going to be monsters out there.
Yeah,
we wish you nothing but the best whenever you do start coaching. And we'll definitely, we watch countless games through the seasons and follow as much as we can on Game Changers, any medium we can find. We can't wait to watch what you do in the future.
Yeah, Elicia, let us know when we can showcase your games. Throw us a link, and we'll be glad to actually share that. So again, open invitation, first of many. Please make it a point to come back. We'll make that happen. And thank you again for just taking some time to share some wisdom with the audience. Okay, so.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, and hopefully you'll be able to meet my team one day.
Can't wait. We'll make it happen. Definitely. You take care, my friend. You're welcome to drop off, and we'll be in touch very soon. Okay. Thanks so much, my friend.
See y'all. Have a good one.
Thank you. See ya.
Thank you.
Dane, that was contagious, Dane. Wow, I'm fired up, Dane. Talk to me.
Yeah, I need her to come talk to my kid. Maybe it'll resonate better from her voice than it does with mine. I mean, the things she said, it's just, like I said, wise beyond their years. You know, a lot of these athletes that go through these things, and you know, when you look at it, you think these programs now, they've got so much dedicated to the mental side of the game, and I think that's what we're starting to see in a lot of these younger athletes that we talk to, how much more mature they are mentally, because these schools and all the coaches realize that that's a huge part of, you know, not only being a good athlete, but also a good human after the sports are done.
Well, that's crazy. I mean it when I say, even in her monologues, I'm never really speechless, but I'm just like, she said it all. Like, there's nothing else to say. Wow. Just listen to it on repeat. Put that on your headphones when you go run or do anything, you know? So don't let anybody tell you no. Like, nobody can tell you no except you. So that's no is not an option. Wow. Well, Dane, that's we got one more tonight. Thank you again, Elicia. That was just the first of two. Our closer tonight, got a catcher y'all may have heard of called Sarah Gordon from the Georgia Bulldogs, the dog pound, you know, the dogs or whatnot. So that's going to be a great nightcap. So Elicia, thank you for your time. Coach DJ, thank you for being you can see the mark left there. Great. So outside of that, wow, I can't forget and say enough thank yous. Don't forget that we love you. And Dane, as always.
Thank you for listening.
Dude.